Following the events of the last game, Fimbulwinter has begun, and Ragnarök is near. The game starts with Kratos still mourning his deceased wife, clinching the bag that her ashes once laid in after scattering them over the highest peak in all the 9 realms. Entering the cave is a much grown Atreus, brilliantly introduced by first seeing a silhouetted figure with horns, which when he approaches closer, turns out just to be a successful hunting expedition. Deciding to head home, Kratos spots Freya in the distance, and we all know the history between these two. After a tense chase to start off the game, the two escape Freya and arrive home, where an old friend passes peacefully in its owner's arms. However, we see what can only be assumed as Fenrir's soul leave its body. Atreus is distraught and goes to bury the pet. One of the key focuses of the game is now with the adolescent son trying to figure out the meaning of his life. Kratos wants to protect his son from harm, whereas Atreus wishes to explore to find out more about himself, Loki, and what he should be doing. This causes friction and a lack of trust between the son and the father. The game introduces an updated combat system from its predecessor, with new moves to combo together to make even greater creative attacks and defences. Another welcome addition is the enemy variety, adding more than just a few of the same old baddies from the first Norse game, with new ranged and melee attacks, along with certain poisonous or magical attacks that can slowly take health away. This encourages you to play smarter, as depending on the scenario, you'll have to switch between weapons to take health from enemies, due to their resistance to a type of elemental damage. It wouldn't be a God of War game without the bloody mess of meatbags you get to tear apart exploring all the 9 realms, with gore remaining a staple of the series. But of course, this isn't a review, this is me being eager to platinum God of War Ragnarök.
This is it then. The beginning of the end.
After Atreus doesn't return, Kratos and Mimir start to worry and go searching the local wilderness to find him. Whilst exploring and getting reintroduced to the mechanics of the game, we come across a bear, which we battle on our first boss fight of the game. When the fight's over, the bear turns back into its original form, who turns out to be Atreus. We find out that he has the ability to transform into an animal. After the cutscene finishes, we get our first trophy. A grisly encounter. Returning home, we get the secret cutscene from the end of the first game, introducing us to Thor. Asking to come into their home, Kratos cautiously agrees, but tensions raise during the silence, with people who played the last game knowing that the family killed Thor's children. We hear crows in the distance, and suddenly, sharp banging on the door. Odin is here. The conversation isn't filled with threats, but with Odin mentioning that they don't wish for war, and promise to leave the family of 2 with Mimir alone, as long as they stop searching for the god Tyr, who we hear about all throughout the first game, who has a troubled history with Odin, and troubled is putting it lightly. Kratos, confused, states that they went looking for the god, but in secret, Atreus has been searching for Tyr's whereabouts due to his connection to the giants. With Odin offering the deal, Kratos, after a brief think, says no, causing Odin to set Thor on the Greek god and start a boss battle. A boss battle against Thor, and we are only an hour or so into the game. This is mad. The Thor fight is brutal for the Greek god, and whoever designed it set up a brilliant trick to catch the player off guard completely. Wait, what?
Oh no. I say when we're done.
Oh my god, he killed him and he brought him back up. You know, oh, that was good. That was good. That's like Batman, what they did in Batman Arkham Asylum. He killed him. He actually killed Kratos and revived him. Holy shit. After the fight ends, we earn another trophy for the crazy battle against the god of thunder.
Oh, now! Odin is with Atreus.
Blood debt. We also find out that Odin was using Thor as a distraction to get Atreus alone. He convinces the boy that with his knowledge, he can help find more answers with what he's looking for, giving an invitation to Asgard. A boy now curious with the invite, but not trusting Odin, and reuniting with old friends, we travel to new landscapes in the realms, and the quest to find the location of Tyr begins. Exploring Svartalheim, finding collectibles, and gaining more information on Tyr's whereabouts. After being given a fake tax turning out to be a map, we find the location of the trapped god. Saving a fearful Tyr, they manage to convince the now pacifists to stay with us in the safe house the two dwarf brothers own. This is when I decided to look at the shop and unlock a trophy upgrading a piece of armour. Ooh, spit shine.
Where's the armor?
Carrying on in the main story, we get to control Atreus for the first time, but quickly find out that he isn't as powerful as his father. Wanted to find out more about his ancestors, the giants. He plans on talking to the World Serpent, with the World Serpent mentioning the word Ironwood and confusing the boy in Sindri. He wishes to try talking to Freya, hoping to reason with her and try to convince her to take their side fighting against Odin. Although still clearly grieving and being less welcoming than in the past game, she listens to what the boy has to say, but sends him away, warning him not to return. During this time, I thought I heard one of Odin's ravens, and I wanted to clear out as many collectibles that I could come across. So I spent a while looking for it, only to find out that it was just crows watching me, laughing. Oh, it's these motherfuckers, is it? God damn it. Seeking more information, the group are led to Alfheim, as Groa, the Knowledge Keeper's shrine, has been revealed. Groa had envisioned Ragnarök, so finding the shrine could give the group more details. Rumours of a god who had visions of Ragnarök had spread throughout the lands. Odin wished to have a private telling of this vision. It was said that the world doesn't end, but only the realm of Asgard is destroyed. Not like in what he was told, Odin killed Groa. However, there was a mention of Ironwood, that we find out is a mythical sanctuary for the giants, but its location is unknown. A place so unknown, not even Mimir is confident that it's a real place. In the hieroglyphics, there is also a piece of the Champion of War, in which Atreus believes that it could be him, with the story showing the Battle of Ragnarök. One more thing to add is that Groa had lied to Odin about the prophecy, and the one that he is following is incorrect. In the hidden part of the shrine, they find out that the prophecy that Odin was working from was all lies, made up by Groa to fool him. This is the part where I took a break from the story and decided to explore Alfheim more, to get as many collectibles as I could and start some side quests. But having it be so early in the game, we would have to come back after unlocking more equipment. Of course, it wouldn't be trophy hunting for me if I didn't struggle to hit one of Odin's ravens as they matrix dodge my axe, in the process causing Kratos to go full on Spartan rage after many misses. Or it could just be my terrible aim. Finally, Jesus. One side mission we would have to come back to later in the game involved freeing creatures trapped under the dunes of Alfheim. The first one we had no problem in freeing, but the second, we would need an item later on in the game to get.
Sounds much happier now. And hey, the storm's gone.
Aye, perhaps we'll finally earn some goodwill from our Dark Elf friends after all.
Look, Father, thanks for bringing us out here, but you don't have to do this kind of stuff just to keep my mind off Ragnarok, you know?
This was not a distraction.
No? Then why are we really out here?
Have you ever considered? He just wants to spend time with you, lad. While he still can.
Really?
We do not know what lies ahead. But if Ragnarok approaches, I wish to enjoy the time we have left.
I don't know what to say. Thank you for bringing us out here. I'm glad we did this.
As am I.
This is where we get our next trophy, which was called Knock Off the Rust, where we would just have to purchase a skill with the points that we had earned. Resting up, holding the artifact, and thinking about the word Ironwood, he's able to travel to a secret sanctuary and meets a new friend, Angerboda, who tells Atreus of his prophecy and shows him around the mysterious place. Learning that her prophecy is to tell Atreus of his, he eventually finds out that his father will die, and he is now even more keen to prevent Ragnarok. We are then educated on what the artifact is. They hold the giant souls. They chose to hide themselves in these artifacts just in case Odin found a way into the realm to then kill them all. He would never assume that they would all be inside of these artifacts. In these, they can finally be safe from harm and not have to worry anymore. We also find out that we are near the location of the temple at the end of the first game in Jotunheim. This is where Angerboda explains that the bodies you saw of the dead giants are not in fact dead bodies at all, but a landscape making the viewer believe that the land is full of dead giants. This is a plan set up just in case Odin visits Jotunheim. Carrying on, the two strike up an awkward teen friendship and explore the lush landscape, until an event takes place where we all have to battle someone called Greiber. And finishing the fight earns us the Cauldron Trophy. The Cauldron. Returning to the old home, he runs into his father, who was furious as to where he'd been for the past few days. Atreus didn't realise he had been gone for so long due to time moving faster in Jotunheim. All of a sudden, the two are ambushed by a Valkyrie. Fuck me! Turning out to be Freya. Kratos, finding this out, stops fighting, causing Freya to take advantage. But before delivering a kill blow, Atreus transforms into the bear again, about to attack Freya. Kratos gets in between the two and tries to calm the boy down. Freya, shocked that Kratos would do such a thing, realises that perhaps he could be of more use to her, to try and break the spell that Odin had set on her for Freya to not be able to leave Midgard, binding her to the realm. Finishing the cutscene, we get the Backyard Brawl trophy for battling the mysterious Valkyrie. In Vanaheim, where the source is being held, we come across a disorganised group that come from different realms, led by Freyr, who happens to be Freya's brother. They try to defend Vanaheim from Odin's forces. Getting nearer to finding the source of the curse, there is a deep talk between Kratos and Freya, giving the gamer a fantastic backstory to listen to whilst travelling. We then find and battle a beast named Nidhogg that protects the World Tree, which also so happens to be a part of the curse that is binding Freya to Midgard. After destroying the source of the World Tree, the curse that is preventing Freya from travelling, we free her from being bound to only Midgard. Here we get two trophies, one called How It Started, equipping an enchantment on an amulet we get, giving us upgraded stats, and the other called Root of the Problem for battling Nidhogg. Here is where Kratos and Freya have a long talk now that he has helped her break the curse. Realising that Kratos isn't the foe and Odin is the one to worry about, she ends her revenge against him. After this, we reunited with her brother, Freya. These two have a troubled past after Freya married Odin, but are happy to see each other alive after such a long time. Okay, so it's a long story, but to summarise, Freya and Odin married to stop a war of the Aesir's against the Vanir. The Aesir's then took advantage of the Vanir's knowledge, using their teachings in unjust ways, and after a while the Vanir had enough. From here, Lunda asks us to search for a mysterious orb she lost in Vanaheim. After retrieving the orb and handing it in, it turns out that this orb, which has been built up to be an important item, does indeed turn out to be really important. Not for Kratos, but for Lunda's pet. Completing this quest unlocks the mysterious orb trophy.
Forget the bloody thing if it was going to kill us. Let's just take it back to her.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Elf has been itching to get her ball back all dang winter. It's her favorite hole.
What?
Now, if you can find the rest of my armor set I left out there,
That's
I'll
dirty.
repair it for you. Free of charge, even. Oh, actually, any dwarf can. I just didn't think you'd get my orb for me if you knew that. Sorry, y'all.
New friends. Fetch Lunda's orb.
You were so cautious, brother.
Quiet.
He's right, Mimir. Show respect. The squeaky toy could have been the death of us all.
And it nearly was.
Do not laugh.
It's hard not to, brother.
Try.
Okay. Okay.
There is also a side quest in which we have to help Freya remove her ties to Asgard, where we'll have to find items that were from her and Odin's wedding for her to destroy. This will grant us another trophy. The trophy will be awarded after Freya obtains her sword known as Mardol after the cutscene in the Vanir Shrine area.
But after the birth of my son, they stopped to.
Mona. Mona!
It was a good day. Retrieve Mardol. Fuck me! After a jump scare from a Dreki, Freya saves us from being nibbled on by the giant beast and shoots an arrow through its mouth and then stabbing it while Kratos holds it down. For doing this, we were rewarded by building a door over it and going back to the main story. What's going on? Oi! Hello, Puppet. That's me. You know what? That's me on a Friday night, that is that. Like, whoa! Regrouping with the others, Kratos tries to find out where Atreus went for so long. But of course the boy refuses to say. The group assume that he went to Asgard and tell him that if he did, Odin is just trying to use him. Atreus, angered by these accusations, turns back into a bear and injures Sindri, who is blocking his path, and then travels back to Midgard. When coming across Odin's personal raven, he wishes to go to Asgard, then teleporting to the realm. Eventually climbing the Great Wall, he comes across Heimdall, a god who has the power to read people's minds and also be invulnerable to attacks. Knowing what the person is thinking, he can react fast enough to move out of the way. Not believing that Atreus is there to see Odin, Heimdall toys with the boy until Thor appears. Now with Odin appearing, Heimdall lets it be known that the boy is there to betray him, which Odin happily agrees with, stating that the boy has no reason to trust him yet. After a tour around Asgard and Odin giving Atreus his own room, which belonged to Magni before, we meet Thor's family, his wife Sif and daughter Thrud. Settling in and heading to Odin's chambers, he tells Atreus of his plan and why he needs our help. He doesn't want Ragnarök to happen, but to figure out a way to find the answers of all of his questions and learn how to change fate. Knowing that fate has predicted that Kratos will die, Atreus is keen on assisting Odin. Years ago, Odin found a piece of a mask, one that would let you look into the crack of time. Eager to look inside, the Aesir god did just that and ended up losing his right eye. To be safe, the mask is needed for protection, for them to be able to find as many answers as they can. If they are able to succeed, Odin seems to think that he will be able to change the prophecy as he wishes. Travelling to the realm of Muspelheim alongside Thor, we go looking for the location where the fragment of the mask is. Noticing a shrine in the travels, Atreus manages to convince Thor to do the trials of the mountain, as we did in the previous game, to distract him, as we aim to go inside the hidden shrine. Running into Angrboda, she mentions that she's looking for more of the artifact with the giant souls. Once inside, the two see a hieroglyphic of how Ragnarök is formed. The two gods of Muspelheim together make a giant creature known as Ragnarök. It turns out that from these stories in the shrines, Ragnarök is not an event, but a living being. Finding the mask and meeting up with Thor again just in time as he completes the trial, they head back to Odin. As the game cuts back to Kratos and the group, they are unsure of what to do next, with most willing to do what the prophecy states. Tyr, of course, refuses to battle due to the innocent lives that will die just because of a prophecy. Freya mentions that they should visit a pack of creatures called the Gnomes, who know of the prophecy and can recite it. They can see the future as well as predicting Kratos and Freya's every word. Asking if Atreus is safe, and if there is a way to get him back from Asgard, along with changing the fate of the prophecy, the Gnomes say that Kratos will die and that Heimdall will try to kill Atreus in Asgard. Switching back to the side quests, we come across the annoyance that is the goddamn Berserker gravestones. Battling these guys took years off my life, with the rage and disappointment that was brought to me when I was so close to killing them. These side missions is where I died the most throughout the game. Move, you fucking fool! No! No! You've got to be kidding me! Yes, quickly! Come on! Guillotine! Into the ground like a 10 peg! Back with Ratatouska, he is curious as to where Nidhogg, the creature that protects the World Tree, is gone. Another side quest is given for us to find the lean worms that can replace the creature. Of course, we will need to come back to this after finishing the main story. Now back home, Kratos mentions what he learned from the Norns to the group. Knowing that Heimdall can see a person's every move, they are unsure of what can be done to prevent it. But Brock and Sindri believe that there is a way to solve this, using a ring called Dropnir. Combining the ring with another mineral, it can cause an explosion, which could be able to stun Heimdall and be able to protect Atreus from him. Heimdall also carries Galahorn, which when blown, starts Ragnarök. Having that in our possession could avoid the end of the world. Once back in Svartalfheim, we find an underwater forge. Here, we meet the Lady of the Forge, who crafts us a spear out of the ingredients that we collected on our travels. At this point, we return to controlling Atreus, about to start his second mission, finding another part of the mask, now accompanied by Thrud and Heimdall in Helheim. In their way, however, is a captured giant wolf chained named Garm. But if released, they can go past him and retrieve the missing part of the mask. Not knowing why it's chained up, they still release it, causing the beast to go wild and run away, but behind it was only a dead end. Heimdall reappears and tells them why he was chained up in the first place, winding them up, mentioning how he cannot wait to see Odin's reaction to the news. The wolf can rip holes in between realms, allowing things from one into another, in the process causing chaos. Addressing to Odin what happened, Atreus also confesses that he just wishes to go home, which the Allfather grants. Returning to their old home, we take the portal to the hideout. where we see a realm tear and the group being attacked by Hellwalkers due to the now released wolf. Eventually closing the realm tear, the son and father reunite in an emotional moment. Atreus addresses what he has been doing and how he released Garm. Kratos wishes to fix the issue, and the two, with Mimir, go back into Helheim to resolve the issue. And here's when we get our next trophy, called Spartan Ways. Battling Garm in Helheim gets us another trophy. Off the leash!
It is over.
I wish it.
Battle Garm. Killing the beast, they make their way back home. However, Garm comes back, making this plan a bit more difficult to finish. The wolf has no soul to kill. He will just keep coming back and attacking. After learning about the secret of the marbles, Atreus plans on transferring a soul into Garm, Fenrir's soul. At the start of the game, the old wolf's soul was unknowingly transferred into Atreus' knife until Angerboda told him about this. Reuniting with the old wolf after it ran away, we have a sweet moment between the family. Returning back to the house, Atreus finally gets time to update them about Odin's plans. Whilst most think the plan goes to a dead end, Tyr disagrees and believes the mask can be used as a way to gaze into the secrets of creation itself. Knowing that the prophecy states that Kratos kills Heimdall, Kratos wishes to rewrite his fate another way, not wanting to revert back to the person he once was, a god killer. Hearing this, Faye wishes to return to Valheim to help her brother and stand against the imminent attack of Odin's army. The trio join with Freya, aiming to help in any way they can, but of course, just as the prophecy says, Heimdall is there. After a painstakingly stressful battle without being able to successfully attack Heimdall, we are finally able to hit him thanks to our newest weapon.
You actually hit me!
Eventually defeating him, Kratos spares the life of Heimdall, refusing to kill him. But being offended by this, Heimdall battles us again, leaving us no choice but to kill him, with his final words calling Kratos a monster. There we are. Battle Heimdall. Regrouping, we discuss what the next course of action is. With Heimdall dead, it will only be a matter of time before the whole of Asgard finds out. With this limited amount of time, Atreus plans on meeting up with Odin once more to try and find the last piece missing from the mask. Odin asks to find Thor to accompany you on this journey. With the help of Thrud, we find him in the pub. Now this is where he spends his downtime, with the alcoholic getting pissed and being depressed due to the way Odin has treated him ever since he was a child. We see glimpses of their negative relationship throughout the game. This could have been what Kratos and Atreus ended up like in the first game. Not the best dad in the world by any means, with his distant and harsh attitude towards the boy, but he never belittled him like Odin does with Thor. Many people say it's like a soldier following his master's orders, as opposed to a father and son relationship. Trying to get Thor out of the bar causes a riot, but after battling people, we finally get him out. We eventually get to the final piece of the mask too. It's in this moment Odin appears out of nowhere with two Valkyries and Sif. Always calling him Loki, the Aesir god congratulates him. Sif, finding out that Heimdall was murdered, confronts Atreus. Thor, hearing this, eventually loses his patience and wants to kill Atreus, with this being another reason to do so, adding on from him killing his sons in the past game. Before leaving to go to Asgard, Sindri had given Atreus a one-time use teleportation device should things go drastically bad. Using this to escape death, he finds himself back at the Realm Tree, with Kratos waiting. The two then return back to the hideout. Atreus is yet to use the mask, so hasn't had any of his curiosities answered, with Tyr unloading questions to him about it, following him closely behind. Freya wishes to start an attack on Asgard right away, but Tia suggests sneaking into the realm and using the mask for ourselves to find out about what is shown within the crack of time, as he knows the secret way in. Brock, however, questions this. He is suspicious as to why Tia has kept this quiet the whole time. Suspicions raise, with nothing Tia saying clicking together, and suddenly calling the boy Loki. Now, I'll let my reaction to the following scene play out and speak for itself.
I still want to hear the details on this, new way to Asgard you got. Spill it!
It's an ancient path. We can't reach it from here.
Where then?
Let me collect my things and I'll show you.
You ain't got no things. And where you going with that mask, Brock? That belongs to the kid. He earned it. All you done was make passable dirt soup.
Brock, it's okay.
No, it ain't. This ain't right. All the pieces ain't welding together true. Like, what's with him calling you Loki anyway? You know that ain't his name. Hey! I'm talking to you!
Oh! What the?
All the things.
Oh my god!
Tell your brother to throw me the mask and you've got a deal.
What?
Freya, if he dies...
Oh!
No.
She
Part of the plan.
predicted this!
If he dies, we are
No
square for
fucking
Heimdall.
way did she
And
know!
honestly, you got a bargain.
I will kill you. Plan on that.
So nice spending time with you again.
Freya, please.
Can't be in two places at once, Frigg.
Hey!
I don't move, you don't move. Don't do anything you'll regret.
I regret many things. Killing you will not be one of them.
What's my son?
I'm in control! Here! Throw me the mask! Now! Too bad, son. Looks like war after all.
I know what you've done. And I forgive you. But you gotta stop. You gotta let go.
So Odin was disguised as Tyr all this time, killing Brock and him dying in Sindri's arms. Now knowing the group's every plan about attacking Asgard, they have lost their element of surprise. Knowing that we were all fooled by Odin, Kratos hands the Gjallarhorn to Freya and abandons the rebellion with Mimir and Atreus, wanting to disassociate themselves with everything that just happened. They then return to their old home in Midgard to hunt and grieve over the death of their friend Brock. Of course, they soon return after realising that avoiding fighting the Aesir will do more harm than good. The group make a plan to unite all of the realms to fight against Odin in the hopes of stopping his army. Freya goes to recruit the elves, and his sister Freya goes to recruit the Valkyries. Hildisvíni, who was the boar from the first game, and who we ran into in Vanaheim earlier, takes himself and Mimir to recruit the army of the dead in Helheim. Our job is to go into Muspelheim and find Surtur, the god of Muspelheim that forms into Ragnarök. This is so that he'll be able to destroy the great wall Atreus climbed earlier that protects Asgard. But it's not as simple as it seems, as he needs some convincing. He would have to sacrifice his wife also to form into Ragnarök. Through a loophole, he doesn't have to combine with his wife as the prophecy states, but needs to heat up Kratos' blades of chaos. We then will have to stab him in the heart, which turns out to be his wife's. This, however, needs to be done in a suitable location, the spark of the world. With our part of the job done, we all of a sudden get attacked by two Valkyries named Hurst and Mist. who we'll have to defeat to get our next trophy. Please.
Get away from him!
Oh, come on, Carito! Kill him with kindness! Holy shit. On fire! Oh, rip. Oh. Oh my fucking god, like. Better together. Whilst resting the night before the attack, after setting up camp at Tyr's temple, Kratos has one last dream of his wife. Throughout the game, whenever Kratos rests, he sees Faye. These dreams slowly hint to the death of Kratos. Although it's yet to happen, the game builds up to you anticipating that Kratos will die, having him develop his relationship with his son, improving as a father, and the conversations he has with Faye in his dreams, along with the other interactions he has within the realms. At the end of the previous game, the paintings in Jotunheim that accurately told the story had the prophecy show that Kratos will die. This last dream sets up something for later. Remember this quote from Faye which motivates Kratos to keep on going for his child, instead of closing his emotions off and avoiding to think about the negative thing that is happening at present. Waking up and entering the temple with the rebellion, Kratos blows the Galahorn, signalling the start of Ragnarok.
Ready yourselves.
Entering through, the attack has already begun, with the World Serpent and Thor already fighting, along with the others from each realm fighting the Aesirs too. With Surtur, who is now Ragnarok, arriving, the group need to get rid of the war machines for him to break down the massive wall to enter through to Asgard. However, we come to realise that Odin is using the Midgardians as a defence, using them to stall and to just die in the attack. Kratos, before his last dream with the late Faye, had always tried to condition his son against death, telling him to close your heart to it. Realising that this is wrong, he reiterates what he learnt from his wife and tells the boy to open your heart to it, so that we can help them and become better. To save the Midgardians, we would have to slow down Ragnarok, break down the wall ourselves, and go and find the only person we realise that we need to stop, Odin. No one else has to die and be sacrificed just because of a prophecy. Atreus then runs into Thrud, who confronts him, but Sif, of all people, comes to our aid. Sif, who, bear in mind the last time we saw her, nearly got Thor to murder him, comes to realise that Odin is the real villain, with sacrificing the Midgardians being the last straw. Heading to Odin's hut, we get attacked by Thor. The last time we fought him one-on-one, he killed Kratos, before reviving the Greek god of war to beat him further. With his wife and daughter trying to tell Thor what's going on, Thor doesn't listen, and just wants to do right by his father Odin, and a boss fight begins. After a hard battle, we finally defeat Thor, but choose not to kill him. Kratos is tired of being a god killer and trying to get through to him by telling him what is happening and how they need to be better for their kids. This is when Odin appears, questioning why he isn't doing what he is told. As Thor refuses to do any more of his bidding, Odin puts a spear through Thor, killing his own son in front of his daughter.
I am your father. Take the hammer and kill who I tell you to kill.
No.
I didn't want this. I did not want this. Dude, this was all their fault. They've done this to us, to our family.
Throwing Thor's hammer at Thrud sparks a lengthy boss battle against the Aesir god. We get help from Freya, who uses her magic with the rope that Odin tried to kill himself with, which is what we found after speaking with the Norns. Using his raven to distract her, he casts a spell of his own. Breaking the floor, we are now fighting in his hidden chambers. During the break in the boss battle, Odin tries to convince Atreus to give him the mask one last time. Atreus, however, decides to destroy the mask, losing all the possible knowledge and answers that he and Odin were desperate for. They have gone forever. This moves us on to the second part of the fight, where we have to use elemental damage against Odin. After Odin is eventually defeated, Atreus takes his soul and puts it in the giant's artifact. Sindri then appears out of nowhere, snatches the marble from Atreus and places it on a table. He then crushes it with his hammer. This is revenge for Odin killing his brother, Brock. With the group thinking that it's all over, Ragnarök appears, still trying to destroy Asgard. Freya decides to sacrifice himself, hoping to stall Ragnarök and be able to save all of the innocent in time, as the rest escape through a portal that Angrboda and Fenrir create.
Don't be afraid. No matter what happens, I'll be with you. But your path is your own. Follow it, and you'll end up right where you're supposed to be.
Huh?
There he is. Wake up, Atreus. Wake up.
Eventually recovering, Atreus gets on his feet, and after the cutscene we get the Ragnarök trophy for beating the All-Father, Odin. Recovering in a temple, we run into all of the people that have been with us fighting. This is where we hear the bad news about Freya. Making our way through the temple, speaking with people along the way, we eventually run into Angrboda, who wishes to show us one last thing, wishing Kratos to come too. It's one last shrine. The prophecy the two saw on the walls of Jotunheim was what the giants wanted. But however, Faye went against her own people and destroyed the shrine in Jotunheim, so that Atreus and his father wouldn't know their fate. She wished for the family to make their own choices and not follow the prophecy, creating their own destiny. As Atreus' shrine was destroyed, he can make his own fate. He talks to his father about wanting to find the other giants. He wishes to go alone. An emotional moment plays out as Kratos says that he is ready, and lets his son leave, making his own journey. Watching his son leave on his own, Kratos goes back to the shrine, noticing that there's another part closed behind it. Opening it, he sees his own shrine. It shows himself, being worshipped after all the help he has given. Seeing this makes the god visibly emotional, showing his journey all the way from Greece to the present day. He won't be viewed as the feared ghost of Sparta, but Kratos, the champion of the war. protector of the 9 realms against the treacherous Odin. With the fantastic main story told, although shortly and a few things missing, it's time to focus on the non-story related trophies. We now have all the equipment we need to access the places we couldn't get to before to find collectibles, and now with upgraded armour, we can hold our own against the baddies.
There's much to do.
Noticing that the wolves whimper at me sparks a discussion. Killing the bandits that captured them and returning to the wolves, they still whine. Only when Kratos comforts them do they stop whining, which pops the Animal Instincts trophy. Bleep bloop. Besties, trophy earned. Pet Specky and Svanna. Heading back to the side mission of what I'm sure everyone else likes to call the Flying Jellyfish mission, we free the second one, where the two reunite and give birth to thousands of little ones that light up the sky, and clear the fog for us to gain more artifacts, earning us the full Goofer trophy.
Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit Barrens?
So just like in the previous game, there are multiple battle arenas with different challenges at the Crucible of Muspelheim. Taking a while to complete these, we eventually get the Trials by Fire trophy. Whoa, Trials by Fire! Complete the Trials of Muspelheim. Finally got it done. Further exploring the realm, we come across Gaina. What the fuck? She ain't meant to be here. Oh god, what have I got myself in for? So at this point I come to the realization that Gaina is way too powerful for us. So we run away in the hopes of finding upgrades to level up Kratos. No. No.
Not yet.
We'll be back for you.
I'll be waiting.
I think you're gonna need some upgrades. We now have to free a whale-like creature that was captured by Mimir for Odin long ago. Full of regret, Mimir wishes to free the animal. Breaking off the chains it's attached to pops the Making Amends trophy.
There! You're free! It's not moving. Why is it not moving?
It has grown accustomed to its chains.
But... No. No, we can fix this.
At least it can feel the wind on its face.
May you provide some comfort.
That's not enough.
It seldom is.
Oh, that's sad, that is. Making Amends. This trophy is called Funeral for a Friend, where we have to go to Brock's funeral. I think this was intended to be the last trophy to get, as there are credits after this scene, and I wanted to leave this till last, but unfortunately I couldn't. I'll explain myself on the next clip as I let this scene play out.
What gets bigger, the more you take away from it.
Well, let's see. Something abstract, I expect. Appetite? No, that doesn't work. Oh, isn't that clever?
What?
Gets bigger the more you take away.
Funeral for a friend. Attend the funeral. Rest in peace, Brock.
It's beautiful from up here.
With Durlin attending the funeral, I would have to clear the funeral for a friend trophy before completing another trophy that he is involved in, which I had not started yet. It requires me going to find and return the rebellion's hammer to Durlin.
Your hammer.
Thank you. With Odin gone, this will be a nice reminder to folks.
Of what?
That we didn't give up. And we won.
Rebel leader. Return the hammer of the rebellion. Finding all the poems that turns out are related to other PlayStation original games gets us the Librarian trophy. The Librarian. Collect all the books. And here are all the collectibles. Artifacts and poems. With this next task, it's pretty simple. We just have to return all of Radikowska's stags back to him.
By overgrowth, and you sort of saved my ass too. Though it was really Bitterness's fault.
That was not our aim.
I'll take what I can
Your
get.
heart. Return all the stags of the 4 seasons. For the full belly trophy, we need to collect all of the bonuses for health and Spartan Rage upgrades across the realms. Full belly. In Vanaheim, we come across a massive section of land with tons of things to keep us busy. What was once a lush landscape is now a barren land filled with lore as we explore. Hang on, that's a Crimson Dread. Whoa! Hang on, that's the Red Dragon of Wales! Hang on, no, we can't kill this boy. Our aim is to kill all of the evil that has taken over and bring it back to its original state. Here we come across an old friend who is thought to have sacrificed his life to save us in the main story. It turns out that he is alive, but stuck in this plane, due to a number of dragons surrounding it. As hard as it was killing the Crimson Dragon, the one on my country's flag, we save him by hunting and killing all of the dragons through various ways, which earns us the Invasive Species trophy. Invasive Species. Complete all of the crater hunts, killed all of the dragons.
It, we've done it. The crater is free of dragons.
Now that we are stocked up on equipment that helps us upgrade items, we can fully repair all of the amulet sockets. Craft the dragon scaled armor set from the dragons we had killed. There we are, crafted the dragon scale armor. Dragon Slayer, craft the dragon scaled armor set. And fully upgrade one armor set. Ready for commitment. Fully upgrade one armor set. Finding all the Lindworm tears, capturing them, and bringing them back to Radikowska rewards us with the rightful place trophy. From here, they can take over from Needhogg, who had protected the World Tree, before we had to kill it to free Freya from being bound to Midgard.
You sought the dragon's offspring. Why?
Yeah. Rightful place. Return all the Lindworms to Radikowska. This trophy is another collectible based one where we just have to find all of the artifacts in the game. Pop in the Curator trophy.
Impractical.
Ceremonial.
The Curator. Collect all the artifacts. Lovely. Finally killing all of the Berserker gravestone bosses, we have to battle the king. Defeating him, which is easier said than done, unlocks the Grave Mistake trophy. Oh my god. Kill him. Yes! Thank God! Oh my days! Finally.
My kingdom.
Oh my god. Grave mistake. Kill the king. Oh, we got it done finally. Another collectible trophy was to find all of the flowers in the game. There is one flower in each of the 9 realms, and getting these pops the Florist trophy. Collect one flower from each of the 9 realms. With upgrading our weapons and armour to a high level, we return to Muspelheim to battle the new Valkyrie Queen. Oh no. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. She's got like literally the last bar and I'm gonna struggle, and No! Oh my god, this is it. Oh my god, get it! Get it! God damn. Being here, we earn the True Queen trophy. The True Queen. Going back to the shop, all we have to do is purchase all of the shields in the game to earn another trophy. Oh, there we are. Don't ask me to say that, but it's a silver trophy. Whoa! No way, that's fucking Tyr!
I can't believe it.
Wait, that can't be. Lord
What?
Is this an illusion?
From here, we head to Niflheim, where we find the real Tyr imprisoned. With him free, he can now be seen at certain spots in the realms that you travel to. But in the prison, we get our last sword hilt. Obtaining all the relics and sword hilts gets us the collector trophy. This was the final trophy we needed, and after this, we get the well-deserved platinum. Right, here we go. This should be the last trophy. Must have missed something here. Yeah, I can see it there, look. See the hilt shine. This should be the last trophy for the platinum.
Why, that's the dwarven sound device Sindri used during the Battle of Ragnarök. We might still find use for it yet.
There we are, the collector. Obtain all relics and sword hilts. 100%. The bear and the wolf. Collect all trophies. This platinum took me forever to do. What a class game. There we are then, we got it all done. We eventually got it all done. Although I focused on telling the main story, the side quests you get are phenomenal and builds up great lore to get you invested within the world of this game. If there's anyone still out there, I hope you enjoyed the story breakdown and the trophy hunting, and please feel free to stick around for more platinum content.